Okay, so now I got a little bit more stuff done to the car. Thanks to the people on YouTube and the ideas, the shifter is now on the ceiling. That was a great idea. I love it. Can't wait to finish it up, hooking it up. It feels good where it is. I also did some more work on the interior. I started with the dash. I have a dash pad that I cut out. I'm starting to mock it in there to see how it feels and where it's going to fit the best. I'm also starting to pick out some gauges that I'm going to use for the dash. I have my fuel gauge so I can see all my fuel that I'm using. I have the water temperature, the volts. I have also the oil pressure of the engine so I know how the engine's running. Since I have an air suspension on the car, I found a dual air pressure gauge. So it can tell me when the front airbags is high or low, or when the back airbags is high and low. And I'll demonstrate that to you right now how this one works. There's a bigger hose here, so this is the lower pressure, which is the inside needle. So that would be the rear airbags, because there's no motor in the back. The front ones have to be a little bit more pressure in them. So there's the other needle. The green one would be the higher pressure one. Kind of a little difficult to hook it up with this hose right now, just to show you, but it works now. So there's two sets. I also, in the theme of using race car tires for mats, this is the kind of pieces I cut out with them. They cut right out from the tread, real easy to cut out. They're dirt track race tires, by the way, not street tires. I'm using this for the rad supports. Anywhere there's any place that may have a vibration, I'm using them for grommet support. And I'm also using, on where my steering shaft is, I got a huge opening here. I want to conceal it from the weather, rain, or other debris outside. This is my friendly neighborhood squirrel, Wilson. He's like my best friend. Here you go. Okay, get gone, Wilson. So now what I'm going to do is the tire, I'm going to rivet it on each side, but I'm also going to slit it in the middle so the arm has a place to travel through the middle. Plus it actually looks kind of cool, you know, instead of having the great big opening, this is going to cover it. So it'll look kind of like this when I'm done. Gives it a cleaner appearance. Okay. Also, I have my steering wheel hooked up. Got my steering wheel mounted onto the shaft, got my bearings all hooked up. I got my rod cut, and I also threaded this rod. It's also a race car bar made of titanium alloy. It's very strong. And you can see now, when I was talking about how the steering works, now I'm turning right, the car is turning right, just like it's supposed to. Same thing if I'm turning left. It'll turn all the way left till it hits the stops. And it's fairly easy to turn to, so there's no big deal. It works great, actually, I find. So now I got the shroud bolted in place. It's concealing the airbags just like I like it to. I had the old Dodge Ram. I wasn't sure if I was going to put it on the car, but being that this is an old style Plymouth body, the Dodge Ram kind of suits it. It's kind of unique, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to bolt it on properly though. I also have taken a radiator from a truck, a really big radiator, because it's a big block in this car. I had it shortened down to 20 inches to fit inside the frame. It is a 4-core radiator. I made a mount in the bottom, and in the bottom of the mount, I'm using the race car tires once again, because they're readily available. They make a great support for the rad. They don't move anywhere, so that's what's in the bottom of the radiator right now. I just have to finish up the top of the radiator and plumb it in, and then we're done with the radiator. I also got the set of headers that I got from Outlaw Race Cars. These are dirt track headers. They're a big block as well. I think they were new old stock when I got them because it doesn't look like they've ever been burnt in. So after I fire this engine up, these are going to smoke a little bit. In continuing with the end, I decided to put square tips on just because they follow the theme of the frame. They're not faked. These are real. They're all the way in. I cut up the header and I'm welding them in. I'm going to finish welding them and grind them in, give them a better look. And you can see at the bottom the way I did those mounts. We talked about them before. I just wanted to follow through. Now it gives me 6 slots on each side of the car. Just like a V12 you'd find in a fighter plane from World War II. I find it just a killer look. You know, you'll see when I fire these up, you may see a little bit of flames coming out. It just gives more effect to this car. It's crazy just like the rest of the car is. Okay, so now I'm ready to start up this big block. It's cammed up. I'm starting it as a dry start, meaning no press down, no belts on it whatsoever. It's not going to harm the motor. There's oil in it. I got oil pressure. But I'm just doing a quick startup just to make sure everything's firing okay before I keep finishing hooking up stuff. It's going to get really loud. If you're going to be doing this at home, make sure there's somebody with you. If you have problems, somebody can unhook the battery. Keep a fire extinguisher handy just in case. Fires can spread really quick. I'm a Class A mechanic, so I know what I'm doing. If you're going to do this at home for fun, be safe, okay? So I'm going to be hooking up my electric fuel pump right now. And it's running, I can hear it. Check for fuel. I got plenty of fuel happening. I'm going hot on the ignition right now, so I'm just going to get the distributor wired up. And the reason I got distributor wire here, something happens, I can disconnect real quick. And let's make some noise. So, like I said, the headers are probably going to smoke up a bit. She sounds pretty loud. If anybody's asking questions right now, I'm going to be going, what? Because I didn't put earplugs in. So you might want to do that if you're going to fire something up on straight headers. Other than that, it's going to be crazy on the street, eh? You guys let me know what you think about this firing up on the YouTube channel. You know? By the way, the answers you're giving me so far, I love it. Thanks a lot, guys.